Have you ever wondered what I do when I'm not sitting in the rocking chair? Stay tuned. Sometimes I'm in the furnace room carding wool. Sometimes I'm sitting at the spinning wheel spinning wool. Sometimes I'm at the kitchen table doing my journals. And sometimes I'm reading. Hi, friends. This is Doll from Doll Can Create, and I'm so glad you popped in today while we have our rocking chair knit and chat. I normally do this at the end of the week, but life was busy and got away from me, so I'm a couple of days behind, but I know you understand that as well. So I'm in my rocking chair. I've got my beautiful purple prayer shawl that was gifted to me many years ago, back in 2013. And I still have it. I still wear it sometimes, but right now it just feels good to have purple behind me. We're in Lent. So grab your favorite beverage. I think mine's almost gone. In your favorite cup. This is from Maxine Noel's design, the Indigenous woman. It's beautiful. What am I drinking? Coffee, of course. Of course, of course. So I thought I would sit and just chat and catch you up a little bit about our 100-mile life adventure, where we are with that, what's working now, what might not be working so much. And it's so easy to forget. Oh, I need this from the store. And then you forget and you pick up the one product you didn't really want because you wanted the 100-mile product. Anyway, that's part of what we'll talk about. We're going to talk about my works in progress, a little bit of spindling that I'm working on. And yeah, let's just see where the conversation goes. So welcome. Lent. We are in Lent. It is day, I don't know, 5, 6 maybe? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday. Day 5. Day 5 of Lent. And I have been working on my blanket, so I will pick it up and show you where I am. So I knit on this and I pray. I meditate, I do all the things. So where's the right side? Where's the wrong side? This is a 10-row blanket pattern. I put the red heart in the middle, just like a log cabin design. And I'm using bits and pieces of things that I have in my jar. See, this jar is starting to go down. Oh, but have no fear. Nope, not there. Here we are. Have no fear. I have more bits and pieces. And I have another jar full of bits and pieces. There's probably the only gold or yellow in the jar. So at some point I will add that color in. But it is such an easy pattern. I believe I put the link on my blog and in the last YouTube that I did. So I will try to add the last YouTube that I did about the blanket. And I can go through and I can remember spinning much of this, if not all of it. Some of it's merino wool. Some of it, like the gray, is from local sheep, which is where I will be concentrating. So that is one of the works in progress. That's my Lenten project right now. And the other thing I'm working on, and I want to finish this up this week, is my first sock for March. And it's, I don't remember what colorway I called this, but it's one of my favorites. The pattern is the Heel Toe Do-Si Do by the Crazy Sock Lady. Very easy pattern to work. I did a nice long leg on this one. a 1x1 twisted rib, I think is what she suggested actually, and I did that. So I finally got the heel done. I'm doing the gusset now. Sorry, get a little too much air. But this is nice. I have been having so much fun knitting this colorway, and I'll bring it up a little bit closer so you can see the different shadings. It's all food grade, food coloring. Pretty. So those, I hope to have these done by the end of March. These will be my April socks. Let me just pause for a moment. And there's my Lent socks, my purple socks. So I made those purple socks about a year ago. So it's merino, superwash, nylon blend. And I do find that that blend works best on my feet. It doesn't for everybody's feet, but it does for mine. What am I spinning? I'm spinning this lovely brown, once again, that I was gifted, whoops, wrong way, from my Elfster partner in Germany. So I'm still working on it. I've got a little bit left to go, actually quite a bit left to go. I'm not too sure yet what I'm going to do with it. I could be making a hat. It's hard to say. I don't know. I've got a hat I'm working on right now. And I'm not sure I need another hat. It would make for really nice. Oh, I don't know. You tell me. What do you think? This is a mini spindle printed on a 3D printer with a beautiful Celtic design, which I'm very fond of. I bought this a number of years ago in a store that was in Kitchener that's no longer there. They moved, I believe, over to the Sarnia area, Lambton, somewhere. Anyway, I miss the store. It was a nice little store in Waterloo. It was actually in Waterloo, then moved to Kitchener. I was never in their Kitchener store. But this is where I bought this. And I absolutely love this. I mean, all the spindles that I use on a regular basis are favorites of mine. They really are. I absolutely love them. And yet I'm always looking for a new one. Can you believe that? So I have this little bit here. This was part of that. And where's my baggie? My baggie went away. Yeah, I have another piece this size and again this much to spin. So I've got lots to spin for sure. So you saw in the first part there, I have sock yarn in the dye bath. It's going to be sort of purpley. Wilton's Violet is what I use, and it splits really easily. So I will end up with some blue, a little bit of pink, a little bit of purple. It's actually my favorite colorway. So I'm really, really kind of excited to have that come out of the dye bath and put it up on my store. I have a few others to show you in my blog. I have different colorways. I've got one called Sunrise. I have one more skein of Peacock, which is really, really pretty if you like blues. I have a copper, a dusty rose. So any color you can kind of imagine. I don't have any black. I don't have any yellow at this time, but that could change. I'm also, as you saw in my opening there, working on carding up some more of my local wool. And I may dye it. Once I get 100 or 200 grams of it carded, then I'll dye it with a natural dye. And I'm not too sure yet what that will be. I have some of the acorn dye bath left, so I may use it. or I may use, I don't know, pine needles maybe. We've got some evergreens around here I could go picking for sure. I have one walnut that's sitting in the driveway right now, which is hilarious because the squirrel put it up on top of our hydro box and just left it there, which is really, really weird. So I moved it, and I noticed today that it's been moved again. So I think the squirrel must have thought he put it somewhere, never came back to it. Maybe it's too old to use for anything now. Not part of lunch anyway. Who knows? Other than that, those are the main things I'm working on, as as well as my blue sweater. It's an ongoing project. So I did calculate it takes me an hour to knit 5 rows, and I may have another 50 rows to go on the body before I go to the ribbing on the bottom. So I have to figure that one out. And I think what I'll do is I have another sweater that I finished all but the little sleeves on it. So I'll pull it out and I'm going to measure it against it and see just how much bigger I want to make it. But it would be nice to finish the sweater. I really think it would. Anyway, there you have it. The wool that's on my spinning wheel right now, I'm plying in a chain ply, so it'll be a 3-ply yarn when I'm done with the plying that I've got on the bobbins, and then I will be spinning some more. So that's kind of exciting. So that's all the fiber stuff that's been going on around here in the last week. We're both almost healthy again, no more colds or flu bugs or whatever, enjoying the extra sunlight. 100-mile life. So what's working, what needs to be tweaked a bit? So I have found a produce delivery company that's delivering, I believe, out of Toronto, and it's all Canadian produce. But I'm believing the root vegetables come from like the New Market area outside of Toronto. Yeah, and they were good. It was a really, really good box. So I'm happy with that so far. I would like to know exactly where some of these things are coming from, but for now, it's a decent box. I did add to it 4 bananas this week from Costa Rica because I still want bananas in my life. The big news is that we have become members with Summit Dairy, which is out past Dundas, out the other end of the Hamilton area. And as of Thursday, we will have our milk and cream delivered. So I'm not getting a lot. I don't use a lot of dairy, but the dairy that comes from Summit Mountain Dairy, Summit Dairy, all comes from their herd. So it's good quality. We've been there, we've purchased it before, and basically we have 52 weeks of delivery, which is really, really good. And that kind of guarantees them some income coming in. We'll be billed once a month for our milk. I'll set out the cooler probably Wednesday night because they could come as early as 5 o'clock. Oh my gosh. Thursday morning, between 5 and 8 in the morning. So I'm looking forward to how that feels. Milk comes in glass bottles. You put your glass bottles out and they take them away, and there's a $2 deposit on the bottles. So you get that back. And I have quite a few bottles here that I'd forgotten to take back before. So that's kind of the one thing that is definitely 100-mile that I'm having. We took the decision, we made the decision, we wrote down the pros, we wrote down the cons. This is a really good thing and a good way for us to go. I go through about a liter of cream a week. We would go through a liter of milk, and I'm getting chocolate milk on top of it because their chocolate milk is so good, and it's nice to have that kind of a treat. So that's part of our 100-mile plan. The meat, I've purchased some from Walmart. I know it's Canadian grown. I just don't know where in Canada it's sourced. So I need to go out to Denninger's here on the mountain and get some meat from them because I know where their processing plant is here in Hamilton. And they make the best liverwurst. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to go and get some liverwurst and some pork and maybe some chicken as well. And we'll see. We'll just see. There's a couple of meat processors within 100 miles or the 160 kilometers. So that part's going really well. I bought a bag of flour, no name flour, and I can't tell you for sure, except that it's Canadian flour. So that kind of broke one of my own rules because I really want to focus not just on Canadian made or Canadian processed, but on 100-mile made and processed. So going back to Arva flour mills, whether we travel to the London area and pick it up or I order enough that it makes sense to have it delivered, I may do that. I know their flour is excellent. It is so good. So I will be doing that moving forward. And two, just looking at where our produce is coming from. I'm not buying much else, really. I did order some more sock blanks for my dyeing habit for my stores so that I can dye up some more sock yarn for y'all. And that shop, that warehouse is outside of Toronto. But I know that the wool comes from out of country, probably New Zealand or Australia. So that is for now part of the business. The other part of the business will be moving away from that altogether and just using my hand spun. So that's still on my checklist. I still need to be able to check these things off and feel really good about it. It's interesting, isn't it? This dilemma we're in right now where we can choose to buy Canadian, which is really important if you live in Canada. And I think it's always been really important. We've just never put an emphasis on it like we are now. But for me, it's 100-mile. How much gas are we spending? How much transportation does it take to get the product to us? Save the environment. I've been thinking and dreaming about what I'm going to do with my tiny little garden space this summer, and it may only be herbs. I don't know. I haven't had a lot of luck. They're all shaded, so I might do shaded kind of plants. We had a few cucumbers. That worked out okay. The potatoes would have done better if I'd trimmed them up a little bit more, so I might try that again, but I don't have enough sun for tomato plants, so that's kind of sad. But we'll see. I mean, it won't be long here, and I'll be able to plant, say, radishes, right? Radishes and peas can go in the ground early, and that's kind of exciting. It is very exciting. So trying to plan out what I can grow and what I can get some of my neighbors to grow. And dear friends of ours have a bit of a garden, and last year they grew zucchini for me, and they had beets for me, which were really, really good. So, but the zucchini went crazy. Absolutely crazy, as zucchini can. But I really enjoyed that. So I may talk to them again and see what they can do. And then we can help support them as well. So this is the rocking chair. I haven't knit very much while we've been chatting, have we? Have I? But I did want to touch base with you to let you know that I'm still on track with 100-mile. A little more or less depending on where things are and how I can move it along a little bit more with regards to purchasing local products. So and reminding myself that I don't need to order flour and coffee from Walmart or Amazon or anywhere, that I can get these from the local suppliers and the local growers. I think that's what's really important for me to keep in my mind, and I will continue to bring you along with me. If you have any questions at all about this 100-mile life I'm trying to create, let me know. Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I have little tiny flies that like to get in under my glasses. And if you have any knitting questions or spinning questions, or if you're interested in seeing any of my um, dyed yarns, let me know, and I'll make sure that you have access to some of the pictures that I'll be taking or have taken. But for whatever you do, I hope that you do it with such joy that it blesses you, and that in turn you are a blessing to others. So for today, this is Doll from Doll Can Create. You can too. Join me next time, friends. Till then, bye for now.